Hi there. and I want to wish you a happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. If you don't celebrate Easter, I'd like to wish you happy spring. And if you're in a place where there isn't spring, um, depending on what part of the world that you're in, I want to wish you a wonderful day. So I'm just happy to be here with you today. Um, as people are coming in, welcome. Please be sure to let me know where you're coming from. Put it in the comments and welcome. And I want to talk about so my happy spring, Mary. Thank you. Um, I want to chat a little bit today. I feel like this is my exploration time. But exploration time together, we get to explore different aspects of all of what we deal with, sometimes lipedema, lymphedema, what it's like to have a chronic disorder, um, how we support one another. Hi, Donna, it's from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Nice. I'm so glad you're here. so, So this exploration time, wow, what a ride. Um, I'm open to, first of all, often you guys will send me emails, and so I'll look at what you're sending me and work from that. But today's Easter, and I happen to love Easter. I come from an Italian heritage. My grandparents immigrated to the US, to Boston from Italy in 1919, 1920, 23. There was like a few years there that slowly relatives came over and settled here in Boston. Um, and so part of that is Catholicism, Christianity. And I loved my all of the rituals, all of everything. When I can remember being a kid and going to mass and going and doing all of the things and having a very wonderful relationship with whatever we called God back then. Those are air quotes, God. Because as I developed, as I aged, as I grew, as I learned, my view expanded. It expanded quite a bit into what I now call a spiritual focus. Because, from my point of view, the spirituality is at the basis of every single day, every single moment of every single day. There's, from what has evolved for me into a Zen perspective, Buddhist. It's really about being present in the moment. And what's present for me in the moment is the celebration of Jesus and the celebration of his, um, I want to say redemption, but that's really not the word. The word is really his, oh, well, it'll come. And hi, Julie. Happy Bunny Day, too. So, I want to talk about Easter. It's like when we were kids, Easter was about chocolate bunnies and Easter baskets and um, eggs. Always a lot of eggs, and coloring the eggs and having special, family. they were all, again from Italian. There's something called pizza gaina that's made on Easter, and it's almost like a quiche. It's eggs and ham and a bunch of cheeses, all Italian and made in a crust. So it's almost like a quiche, but it's not a quiche. It's pizza gaina. So, holidays bring with it all of these memories and, wonderful direction, if you will. I'm talking about direction because that was part of my weekend. Well, what's become my particular celebration is a very long silent retreat, um, a meditation retreat on and celebrating Easter week, Holy Week, and Easter weekend. So I did a 24-hour retreat, and I've done a number of them. Um, I'm part of an online sangha. If you've been around, then you probably know Anjay and Kathy because they have done numerous meditation groups for us. Um, so it's in with their meditation group. And so I did a 24-hour silent retreat. It was absolutely wonderful. It was so wonderful. And you'll see me mostly in my recliner. I have a recliner chair that I love. It's so comfy. Um, it's a orangey chair, and I sat in that for all 24 hours. And I don't usually do that. I usually go to sleep. I usually, I will, it starts at 9 a.m. here Eastern time on Saturday morning, and it goes till 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. So usually in the evening, I will check out, go to sleep for a number of hours, and then check back on in the early morning of Sunday. Well, for some reason, I decided this time I wanted to see it through. I wanted to stay for the whole retreat and just explore the silence. Deep sigh and gratitude. Now, I slept a lot in the chair. I kept dozing off. I kept having mini naps, and that was fine too. And I also had wonderful periods of deep silence and deep meditation. And I sort of share that with you because I mean it's just one of the things that helps me in remaining somewhat calm about all of the challenges that come my way with chronic diseases. And I want to talk a little bit about my dear friend Anita. Anita and I connected through lipedema many years ago. We started to support one another. She actually had a couple places, but now she's in Florida. And we grew close. We grew very close. I consider her one of my dearest connections from all of this. And that was before we had the membership group and before we were doing all the work that we've done. So Anita and I started to play with keto before we knew what we were doing. We were like taking things off the internet before I even met Leslin. So that's going back a long time. So a couple of years ago, I want to share this story, and I asked Anita for her permission if I could, because I think it's perfect to share it today of all days. And so a couple of years ago, and so Anita and her husband, they're now in their mid 80s. a couple of years ago, they were in their mid lower 80s. So I guess she was probably 82, maybe 81 at that point. They were cooking a stew. It was, a beautiful day. They live in Vero Beach, which is a beautiful section of Florida. Um, and she passed out in her kitchen getting a bowl of carrots. And thank God they had a quick ambulance service that got her to the hospital and got her resuscitated. Um, but she went into a coma. And it was a very significant coma. She was in a coma. Oh gosh, I can't even remember at this point. It seemed like it went on and on and on. But several days into her hospitalization, they declared her brain dead and wanted to take her off of um, life support.
Sorry, I don't know that.
That was Alexa in the background. They wanted to take her off of life support. And God bless her husband, Rick, who said, no, we're going to give her a chance. She's going to come back. And Rick and I spoke every day. Um, in fact, some days, 2 and 3 times a day. And I supported them in whatever way I could at the time. It went on for quite a while. And she was something like, I have to get the numbers from her. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks. Um, and they wanted to take her off of life support again. And Rick was like, no. And I'm like, hey, Rick, you stand your ground. You do what you need to do. As many of you know, I've had quite a number of advocacy opportunities with the healthcare system. So I'm a strong advocate for listening to yourself and your gut. And Anita came out of it. She came back. Um, it was a remarkable. I mean, we really thought that she was a goner. And we started to create a memorial service for her. Just all kinds of things. And to have her come back, it was remarkable. Now, I'd love to say she came back, everything was fine. She came back and struggled for a long time because the going through all of that undermined some of her health. But boy, is she a warrior. Is she a warrior? Not only with lipedema, but with a number of other medical conditions that she not only confronted and was challenged by, but is in the process of getting to the other side of. She had a condition called C. diff, which is not easy to deal with. It's very difficult. And she's, done a number of different diet adaptations and different things and had to find for her what worked for her. And she did. And she also was blessed with a wonderful doctor who listened to her husband and said, "Yep, yep, we're going to give her a chance." So, so she and I have been playing phone tag for a while. I've missed her, and as many of you know, I've been really sick for a long time. So I sort of go into a bit of a cocoon myself during those times. But anyway, we've been playing phone tag for a while, like for at least 3 or 4 weeks. So we finally got a chance to catch up today. And she sounds wonderful. She just sounds healthy. And she was sharing with me, she plays these crossword puzzles. She plays these unusual crossword puzzles. Let me find it because she sent me some information on it because I'm like, I had never heard of these, but they're these very difficult crossword puzzles. Oh, here it is. In the New York Times, Sunday crossword puzzle. Okay, and so there's one that's sent where she lives. She lives on Orchid Island in Vero Beach. Um, and they're very difficult crossword puzzles by someone named Meryl Regal. Um, and she has been acing it, just acing it. And I have to say, hearing the joy, the accomplishment, the sense of aliveness was so inspiring. And I wanted to share that with you all today because we often deal with medical, clinical, um, physical challenges. And there is a path, there is a way. And ultimately, we each hold the key to our own answers. And while we share many tips and tools, you have to try it and see what works for you. And what works for you will be, you know, your answer. I say that because, you know, people often talk about keto. I love keto. It hasn't worked for me to be able to deal with the central lymphatic issues that I got gifted with a year and a half ago, which caused a lot of my illness over the past year and a half. And literally, you know, after having been keto and loving it, and even different forms of keto, I really believe I'm still low carbohydrate, but um, the surgeon and the radiologist and the docs all they really pressed me on lowering my fat content, which I don't know, good or bad. But my point really is that, you know, while we know a lot, we know that everyone has to do their own n equals one. So I want to say I feel so blessed to be able to share about Anita with you on Easter, which is the day of resurrection. That's what it is. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Resurrection, redemption, renewal, rising, aliveness, all of that. And for each and every one of us, I just wish a blessing. And I'm going, as I'm wrapping up for today, I want to put in the chat the link to our upcoming conference. Did that happen? No, it didn't happen. Wait a second. I, I was in the wrong place. Okay. Now I'm in the right place. Okay. Here it is. The Heart to Heart Virtual 3-Day Event Conference. Keto and Beyond. Customizing your plan to joyful nutrition. I would add joyful, delicious, nurturing, nourishing, pretty much customized for you because you're going to customize it. We have all the experts coming, but you will be able to customize it for you. So that's April 12, 13, and 14. We have had an early bird special, and that's going to be going away this week. So if you haven't signed up yet, now's the time to sign up. Here is the link, because the price is going up this week. Well, that's how they do it. Isn't it weird? I think it's weird, but that's how they run conferences. You know, they do an early bird special, and then closer to the conference you pay more full price. So do check it out. Do come and join us, and do have a really blessed morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for showing up and being a part of um, our community. It means so much. Okay, everyone. See you very, very soon.